Using the risk matrix diffuser, Cal becomes RISKMAN.
Hey guys, welcome to the RISKMAN channel, where we provide you, the entry-level GRC, IT audit, and cybersecurity professional, with easy-to-use tools and techniques you'll need to become successful in this industry. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll be updated with all the latest RISKMAN content. If you have questions, please leave them down there in the comments, and let's get on with today's topic.
Okay, so let's look at how a recruiter actually works. So basically, the recruiter does what you would actually do when you're looking for a job. You go out to Indeed, you go out to LinkedIn, any kind of job portal like that. They go to the job portals, pull down candidates for the jobs that they have in their database, and then they take those candidates and then they put them inside their own pool. And then they'll scan their resumes with AI tools or something like that to say, all right, we need a GRC analyst with 5 years experience or with 2 years experience at least. And then what they'll do is they'll grab the best candidates that they can find from that, and those go over to the account manager. So the account manager is the one that you'll probably get your second call from. Your first call is going to come from your initial contact with the recruiter. He'll look over the resumes that he's got, and then he'll say, all right, let's go ahead and call John. Let's call Sue. Let's call Mary or whatever. And then if they feel that they qualify for this position that the client presents them, they'll give those over to the account manager. Then the account manager, what they do basically is they go through and they do a second interview. This first interview over here is more of a high level, and the second interview is a little more detailed, but it's still not very, it's still kind of high level, I believe. And then that account manager will make a decision and say, all right, let's go ahead and present this to the client. And then the client at that point will do a couple of rounds of interviews, and what happens there is this could take about 2 or 3 weeks in itself right here. So this process from here to here could take a week or two, and a lot of times what happens here is the recruiter and the account manager, there's usually not a lot of communication sometimes between the two, and so that's why a lot of times you're in a waiting game. Like, it's a hurry up and wait. Oh, let me get you presented and everything, and then it lays with the account manager for a minute, and then they'll look over everything. Depending on what their workload is, they'll make a decision to call certain candidates to present to the clients over here. So that process from here to here could take a week, maybe 2. And then right here, once you get to the client, depending on the client, I've been on the both ends of this. I've been on the interviewing side and also on the interviewed side, where I've been interviewed for a position. And I know that even working as a client, looking to hire someone, depending on the red tape that's involved in your company, sometimes it takes a long time to make those decisions. And so for budget reasons or whatever reasons there are, it takes a long time sometimes to do this. So this process could take up to 1 to 2 months to almost 3 months to be completed, because once they decide on hiring a candidate, well, then you got to go through the background check, and you got to go through all the screening process that goes along with that, and that's another 2 weeks in itself to do that. So you're looking at most likely about maybe a month and a half to get started before you get your first paycheck. So what I recommend people to do is while this is going on and you got in the mix with a job here with these recruiting firms, I would actually be looking on my own. You can do a lot of this stuff yourself. And what I would do is I would target small and mid-range companies that can make decisions a little faster, and go outside the portal, Indeed and LinkedIn, because those are saturated portals. That, Career Builder, Monster, all those job portals, they're pretty, saturated. So you want to be the big fish in the small pond. So while this is going on, it's good to say, all right, let's deal with a recruiting firm, let them do their thing, see what they want, what they can do for me. But you need to do for yourself. You need to go out there and go to Indeed and all these other places, all these job portals, and outside of those job portals, you can do AI searches with ChatGPT and Gemini to find out what mid-range and small companies and startups that exist out there that you can get in the door a lot quicker than this process right here, because this process takes a little while. And so what I would do is, like I said, get out there and do your own legwork and don't depend on recruiters to do that for you, because although some of them are good and some of them are not, you don't have to sit there and wait and wait and wait when you can use that time to be productive and you can get in there and do some of the things yourself. And so that's exactly what I would do in regards to that. So let's look at the mindset of interacting with a recruiter. And this is one thing that I tell people. There's a lot of keys to this, but there's 4 main keys. And one of them is, don't just give recruiters your time. But your time is very valuable because you could be spending that time looking for a job yourself, which I'd recommend you do a lot of that on your own, do a lot of legwork on your own. You could spend a lot of time doing that on yourself, and that will save you that time of waiting for callbacks and wondering why they're not calling you back right away. Well, if they have something that's cooking, you're really going to get hired from it. Believe me, they're going to call you because that's a sale for them. Everybody gets a piece of the pie when they get you in there. But when a recruiter says that they have a job for you, I would definitely ask them a couple of questions. And one of them is, when they say, oh, I looked at your resume and think you'd be a perfect fit, ask them a question of, how did they obtain your resume to begin with? And then also, how do you know about my skill set? How much do you know about it? And question them on that, because a lot of times, a lot of them I found don't even know what your skill set really is. They just scanned a couple of words on your resume and that's it. So they might put you in a database administrator job or something like that, and that's not even what you do. So definitely question that. And then some recruiters, you can just know, a lot of them are just trying to get you in their database so they can have somebody to call for the next job. And they'll tell you things like, oh, well, this job is exclusive to us. But I found that's not the case, because there's a lot of jobs that they have that I found on other job sites and everything. So nothing is really exclusive like they say it is. They just have a job in their database just like every other recruiter does. So be wary of that. And then, if the job is nowhere near your skill sets, like I mentioned earlier, if they're just calling you for a DBA job, a database administrator job or something like that, and that's not even what you do, just cut ties with the communication on them immediately. And I do mean immediately. Cut those ties immediately and then get off the phone with them and move on, because your time is very, very valuable. Your time is money. And that's what a lot of candidates just don't realize, is that your time is money. And the more you spend on the phone with them, and a lot of these guys try to get personal information, do not give any personal information. Don't give any information at all. Get off the phone with them, politely say, send me an email on the job responsibilities and I'll take a look at it and go from there. As I mentioned, job boards are very saturated, so try to find other avenues outside of that by using ChatGPT and other AI tools like Gemini and Claude to search for jobs, because I think you'll have more success there. Try to target, like I said, those smaller companies and startups, because with those companies, you get a lot more communication faster with them, and you can a lot of times go directly to their HR, because their HR is usually small and you can talk with them directly. So I would do a lot of that before I would actually get in there and just rely on the recruiter. And also be willing to take on contract work. Contract work is not bad. I mean, it gets your foot in the door, and sometimes there's contract to hire positions. So you may get in as a contractor in the beginning, and then I've worked contract for many, many years, and I worked as a full-time employee as well. But contract work is not bad. I mean, it'll give you experience in a lot of different areas, and then you can use that experience by seeing different environments and put that on your resume, and it'll get you a lot smarter faster.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you'll be updated with all the latest RISKMAN content. Also, pick up my book, Decode, Defend, Disrupt from Amazon. The link will be right down there in the description. And again, if you have any questions, please leave them down there in the comments, and we will talk to you soon. RISKMAN signing out.